deeper than music. The core of you, the fans, the truth is deeper than music, deeper than music. Simply the truth is the latest, the newest. It's deeper than music, deeper than music. The core of you, the fans, the truth is deeper than music, deeper than music. Simply the truth is the latest, the newest. It's deeper than music, deeper than music.
What up, what up, what up, what up? This is your man Furious, Deeper Than Music Radio. Behind every great song, there's an even greater story. I'd like to say what's up to everybody out on podcast land, listening via Spreaker, iTunes, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. Special shout out to UK Promotions covering Fashion Week out in London. We'll catch up with them later on. But today we have a very special guest representing G.L.O.A.T Entertainment based out of DFW area. Representing hip-hop to the fullest, we have Champion here on Deeper Than Music Radio. Champion, how you doing?
Doing well, brother. How are you?
Well, I'm doing pretty good, man. It's just this weather. I think we're in between, I want to say winter and spring, man. One minute is 70 degrees, next minute it's 35 degrees.
Right, yeah. That's Texas in 11.
Yeah, bipolar weather. But, hey, man, thank you for taking the time out to come on and join us here on Deeper Than Music Radio. So I guess my first question for all the listeners is, who is Champion and what is he bringing to hip-hop?
Man, me, myself, G Champion, man, I'm a man of many faces. I guess I've been through a lot of different things in life, from the bottom to the top. I guess it's cliche, but you know, I bring to hip hop my story, the things I've been through in my life, the things I've witnessed in my life, and also, you know, some fun too. You know, you gotta have some fun too. I hear a lot of guys did some new music, which I mean it is a little different from the music we grew up on, but some of it's about having fun, and sometimes you gotta have fun. So I like to think that I can bring a little bit of everything to the table, a little hip hop. A little more fun, pop, just me, myself personally.
Oh, okay. And I like how you mentioned, because I know, especially in hip hop right now, we got the OGs. I guess I'm part of that echelon. I'm part of the 90s era, the golden era, and then we got the young cats out. One of the shows that I really like to listen to, man, because his brother's so animated, man. Shout out to Drinks with Champs, Noriega. And he says like how the young cats are disrespectful, and it's you said something that's very interesting because music evolves, right? Music changes, and you know, I believe every 20 years, you know, music recycles itself, and we go through evolutions. And I like how you said, man, you know, music is fluid, man. Good music is good music, and you like you said, we gotta listen to music that. You don't have to be conscious all the time. You can make music for people to dance. It's different varieties, different flavors, and that's what makes music fluid and very a beautiful thing. So I want to ask you a question, man. When did you know that you wanted to be an MC? Do you remember that moment?
It's actually, I guess that's a two-part answer. One was when I was 13. I wrote my first rhyme when I was 13. I actually have a tattoo on my arm and music symbols of 13. And I knew I was really into music at the time. I really wanted to write music, but I had football dreams and things like that. But when I was 18, I did a song with a guy and we got it on the radio back home where I'm from East Texas. And it made it on like this little Friday night, like local countdown or whatever. And so after hearing myself kind of on the radio at that point, it was just like, and, you know, I kind of like that. I kind of like how it sounds. You know, I got some compliments on it. I was like, I really feel like this is what I want to do. And I guess it was that moment when I was 18 and I heard the song playing on the radio. So that was pretty cool.
Oh, word. Would you happen to know any parts of the lyrics of your first rap that you wrote?
Yes, actually I did. It is. Let me think of how it starts off exactly. It is, he was brought to this earth in 85 with his father's eyes. I have to look at it. I got it. I actually have it.
No problem. This is a question I like to ask, man, because some people remember, some people don't, man. The fact that you can, man, I don't even remember my first verse, man. And so who are your influences, man? What artists influence you to
Man, you got it's a variety again. Like I say, I'm Tupac head. I mean, I grew up on Tupac. Big Nas fan, man. I like conscious music. Common, believe it or not, like
Oh
that's
yeah,
not a name.
Chi-Town. Yeah.
I think he's brilliant. Personally, I think it's bigger than music. I think with all three of them, it's bigger than music.
Man, it's
Obviously, I was.
interesting. It's
Go
interesting you
ahead.
stay Common, man, because you don't hear too many people say Common, man. I respect that.
Appreciate that. Eminem, obviously, I was in that era with Eminem, and he kind of was changing musical, what he was saying and the way he bend words. And then after that, man, I'm actually a big R&B fan, a big kind of, I'd say, rock fan, country fan. Man, I listen to all types of music. I grew up in the country, so I mean, even country music has inspired me over time. So a little bit of everything.
And actually, man, I was having a conversation with one of my friends that listens to country. And if you think about it, man, country is no different than rap, man. And the country rap mashups make sense. Like, I think the country mainly comes from working class. Like we, like mostly hip hop heads, and they're real good storytellers, like hip hop heads. So I know that you're part of a record label called G.L.O.A.T, and I actually talked to, I conversed with Michael Heathen a little bit, and he kind of told me about the genesis of G.L.O.A.T Entertainment. Can you tell me how you fit in the fold, your role at G.L.O.A.T Entertainment as well?
Well, I'm one of the part owners, co-founders of G.L.O.A.T. I moved to Dallas Fort Worth in 2006, and that's where I met Michael Heathen at. And I've been working with a good friend of mine. Grew up with IQ the Chemist. We're all doing music together. '08, we started talking about putting a label together. Me and Heathen, we ended up doing it and started the label. 2000 became official LLC. So me, him, myself, IQ, and Heathen, we all kind of ran the label and started bringing other people in, other artists in, and man, it grew so fast at that point. Then things happen, life, people change, they grow apart. The core's still there, and so we kind of kept it going with just the core because we were seeming to be the ones putting in all the effort and the work at the time. But that's just how it goes.
Yeah.
And so we've come full circle. We've added more people to the roster again. I think we're stronger than we've ever been. Obviously, I should have sent my bio. I'll give my bio to you, man. Just the things we've done, the artists we perform with.
Yeah, I know. Mike said Wu-Tang, KRS-One.
Man,
Yeah,
Bun B,
Tech-9.
Tech-9, A Boogie with a Hoodie. You take it back in the day, we did Twister, we did Busy Bone, Genuine. I mean, I could really name drop all day, but that means nothing. But it's kind of cool to have on your resume, honestly.
Yeah. And what is the what is G.L.O.A.T, the label, bringing to the hip hop as well, man? How would you describe the sound and the artists that you guys have on your roster?
Oh man, diversity. I think we have from 17 years old up to 43 years old on the label.
Okay.
So definitely diversity is it. You're gonna have some classic hip hop. You're gonna have some of this more new wave, this new sound. So we're just bringing over a little bit of everything. G.L.O.A.T actually stands for greatest label of all time, or God's love over all things. So,
oh man, that's dope, man. That's dope. So we're gonna go ahead and get into your song. I think it's Just for Fun, right?
yes, sir.
Just for Fun here. Do you want us to give us a little background story or tell the people what the song's about, the flavor?
Yeah, just for fun. So actually, most of the songs I sent you have a little bit of that new wave to them, but they still got the bars in it. Just for fun, we were actually in the studio and we were playing around. Like we were just having fun playing around, messed around, and came up with a hook. And I was like, man, it's kind of dope. You think we should do it? And so we ended up doing it. And it's myself, Michael Heathen, one of our other guys, Flacco Z, and my boy Rippy Meadows. So. It's just what it says. It's just for fun, man. It's about the ladies. It's about, I don't know. You just gotta hear it. You got
okay. And here we go. Deeper Than Music Radio with G Champion here. G.L.O.A.T Entertainment, just for fun here on Deeper Than Music Radio. This is Marquivas Furious Nias, and you're listening to Deeper Than Music Radio.
fun. Yeah. She say it's just for fun. She say it's just for fun. She a real smart girl, but that booty real though. Hey. She say it's just for fun. Yeah. She say it's just for fun. Yeah. She say it's just for fun. She a real smart girl, but that booty real though. Hey.
She a smart girl, just graduated. Say my name, she probably masturbating. OMG, that ass captivating. Wear my cape, I'm captain saving. Brainiac and she thick too. Said it's fun and the shit cool. Shake that ass, put them waves in it. I bust it down and have my way with it. Her ass says provide tuition. Dean list, threw her a mention. Addie's ingested, got my intention on Bobby B. She the newest addition. Latest out, bring the greatest out. Them little yammies in that fatty. I beat her up and she calling me daddy. Good hair, but she a super baddie.
She say it's just for fun. Yeah. She say it's just for fun. She say it's just for fun. She a real smart girl, but that booty real though. Hey. She say it's just for fun. Yeah. She say it's just for fun. Yeah. She say it's just for fun. She a real smart girl, but that booty real though.
This is all for shits and giggles. Straight to twisting nipples. Put to the test before the tickles. Breaking back, she's gonna be crippled. Whoa, heathens. Always down for a good time, Lou. This evening, cause we about to pass time. Her dairy, yeah, I double dare. You not to stare. Old ignorant ass hard headed. And I don't even care for your entertainment value. Don't need to know nothing about you. Pretty much I can't lose, so I better grab a towel too.
She say it's just for fun. Yeah. She say it's just for fun. She say it's just for fun. She a real smart girl, but that booty real though. Hey. She say it's just for fun. Yeah. She say it's just for fun. Yeah. She say it's just for fun. She a real smart girl, but that booty real though. Hey.
Yeah, that booty dumb fat. Gotta spin the ones fast. I know I don't want that. Never hit the plug back. She know that I love that. Pop it, shake it, give me some of that. I ain't talking about a period, but fuck with me, it's a bloodbath. She attached, she can't let go. Mitigator, bitch, strep throat. My side thing is your main hoe. She snorting white, no mayo. She come to me when you left your home. Wanna get high like cholesterol. I got people on my side, wanna use my grave as a stepping stone.
She say it's just for fun. Yeah. She say it's just for fun. She say it's just for fun. She a real smart girl, but that booty real though. Hey.
It go rum bum bum bum. She got ass shots in her buns. She gets swats and she run like hey. Shorty, you the pick of the litter, shaking that ass to the rhythm. You curvy, no mercy. You get long stroke, no wormy. She like why you ain't warn me. Then one's flying and stormy. We pop the molly, we horny. I fuck it till her soul bleed. I fuck it till she go sleep. I count bucks while she count sheep. We undercover, no police.
Deeper the Music Radio, just for fun. G Champion here on Deeper the Music Radio. So that was just for fun, man. In the studio, being creative. So, in your career, man, what has been your biggest challenge? I guess it's going to be a two-part question, from an artist's perspective and then from being a label executive, running your own movement.
So, I guess from the artist standpoint, it's just the fact of probably more of a respect thing. That's probably the thing is to gain the respect of your peers. I guess more than anything, wouldn't seem like a lot. I mean, you would rather obviously be from your fans, your core fan base, which I think we have a pretty solid core fan base. But like I say, the respect from the peers, I hear guys talk about all the time. You know, people who've done this around here. But I think since 2006, since even 2008 or 10, I think our resume and my personal resume should speak for itself. I think you can't name anybody from this area who's not just super owned, who's done more than I have personally. And that's from events, that's from, getting paid for shows, gigs, festivals. So that's probably the biggest thing from an artist standpoint is respect. From a label, keeping everybody on the same page. That's probably the most difficult thing there, especially when you invest in a lot of money. I mean, this is a lot of personal money going into this company. I'm hoping that it feeds us back, and for a long time, you have to go in knowing you're not going to profit. You're going to spend a lot of money. You're going to invest a lot of money. You're going to make a lot of bad investments because sometimes you have to do that in order to figure out, that's a bad investment and what a good investment looks like, and learn and bump your head. That's probably the hardest part as a label executive is figuring out the recipe.
Yeah. And you know what? You brought up a good point. I was actually talking to my publicist. Shout out to Belinda of AJ Platinum Promotions in Beverly Hills. We actually had a conversation yesterday. She does a lot of stuff with Grammys and Universal and Bungalow Records. And one thing I didn't realize, man, she brought to my attention, because the business model's changed now with streaming. Streaming is killing the game, right? I mean, as far as the traditional label business model. And I'm pretty sure you had to adapt your company as well. And she was telling me, like, as far as Motown, she's like, yo, they laying people off. Like right now, like a lot of money that they put in promotion and backing for some of their artists is they're not seeing the returns as far as streaming and things of that nature. And I like how you said, you put in not just your time, not just your money, but you put a lot of time in it. And I'm pretty sure you feel this as well. A lot of people that come into this game, what I see is a lot of people think, I just go in the studio, I cut a record or cut a song, and bam. No, there's a method to the madness. And me personally, I think the hardest part is the marketing, and especially now that everything's oversaturated. Now it's like, okay, who are you, and why should I download you, or why should I stream you when you're next to Jay-Z, you're next to a Drake or whatever. And then
I'll tell you, I absolutely agree with that. Marketing's definitely not just difficult, but like you say, it's taken such a big change. When I first was serious in the music industry, there was no streaming. Maybe go stream on MySpace or something like that. You had the songs uploaded on there, but we were driving around. We were at these venues outside with the trunk pop with CDs on us. We were traveling out of town, going to parks that people frequent after the clubs. We were selling CDs out the trunk, and that's the way we did it, was the footwork. And I think that aspect obviously has changed with these streaming outlets and things of that nature, because I can reach out to millions of people without ever leaving my house.
And you're right, man. And it's kind of, I guess it's kind of like a double-edged sword, because you are, I remember like what you said, like with the CDs, and then it went from CDs to iTunes, and then from iTunes it went from to the streaming. And I tell people, I'm like, yo, the difference between the CDs and the iTunes to streaming, you may have like a lot of like 20,000 streams, but I mean, to pay from that, like I have to laugh, because I remember, I think it was Carlton no, it was Kid and Play, and they were talking about, you guys still get residuals from those movies, and the dude was like, man, I get a royalty check from like a penny. It costs them just as much to print out you know what I mean? To print out that, and streaming's like that. But I like how you say, like in the city, you do festivals and do things, because I've always heard in this era, you have to tour, you have to do shows to see a good amount of income. What has been your biggest achievement? I guess this is two parts as well, like your proudest moment as an MC and as a record executive for your label.
And that's two things there as well. One, my personal moment was just, and it's small to a lot of people. It was huge to me when I shared the stage with Bun B. Man, I grew up on Bun B. Like that was,
right. East Texas, right? East Texas representing.
You already know how East Texas did. East Texas may still be 10 years behind us right now. They still coming down and coming through. So that was probably my proudest personal moment is being able to share the stage with him, and meet him afterwards, take pictures with him. That was the coolest thing for me. That and going to tour. I did a 3-day tour with Seth's crew from Strange Music. That was pretty dope. But as an exec, probably Jeremy Shy, he when he signed his deal, which is a long story. But when he did that, that was pretty exciting because personally, I don't think we had to do a lot to do with it as much as he thought that we had to do with it. But the fact that he kept giving us, some of the credit, like, man, like before I got with y'all, like nobody was paying attention to me. And now, these people reached out to me. So that was a pretty good feeling too. Even though you don't want to take that credit, you want to put that on his talent because the kid is freakishly talented. It still kind of feels good inside that he feels like we were a part of him.
And that's good that he gives you guys a shout out, man. I figure we're around the same age, man. So I know you've seen the 5 Heartbeats, and people have their flash moment. You know what I mean? It's lonely at the top, but what people fail to realize, man, for you to get to where you are, there's always somebody that's been there to help you. Nobody gets through a journey by themselves. But that's cool that he's gives loves back, and I know that's gotta be a proud moment for you as well. Oh no worries. So we're gonna go into your next song that we have on file is Japanese Denim. Can you give us the rundown on this song?
This is probably my most popular song to date, honestly. Dope video too, by the way. Japanese Denim. It's actually featuring Jeremy Chow. We were just talking about Jeremy Chow, and this is featuring him. I went to my partner C Major. Shout out C Major, made the beat. I went to his house. I was shopping for some beats. He played that one. Just started spitting the hook right then and there. I don't even know where the hook came from. I think the beat was called Japanese Denim, and came over with the hook right there. I was like, I want this one. Bought it, and me and Shy put it together, and I think it's a hit record. It's got a real East Coast feel to it. It's dope, though. Super dope.
Okay, here we go. Japanese Denim here on Deeper Than Music Radio.
Champion there. You got me stand trying to figure how you squeezed all in them. I like the way you move in that Japanese denim. What's in your plans, mommy? Tell me what's in your agenda. And if I ain't in them, baby girl, can we amend them? Got me stand trying to figure how you squeezed all in them. I like the way you move in that Japanese denim. What's in your plans, mommy? Tell me what's in your agenda. And if I ain't in them, baby girl, can we amend them? Wait, man. How you doing, mama? I've been peeping how you peeping and I'm fluent, It's cool. Yeah, I want you and not her. Yeah, she cute and yeah, she cute. She ain't moving my heart. But look, listen, I've been cruising around, trying to find a hot, tidy chick who gon' be down. Yeah, I'm the contrary, spill a kill swag berry. On my Hoover boy, shopping for some new Giuseppe's. Woo, I beat a dark Asian salutation. Big face, cause my money stay in rotation. Go crazy. Go, only wanna say it, cause the chat says go and keep me running. You got me stand trying to figure how you squeezed all in them. I like the way you move in that Japanese denim. What's in your plans, mommy? Tell me what's in your agenda. And if I ain't in them, baby girl, can we amend them? Got me stand trying to figure how you squeezed all in them. I like the way you move in that Japanese denim. What's in your plans, mommy? Tell me what's in your agenda. And if I ain't in them, baby girl, can we amend them? I said blue dream, eyes slow from that scissor. Shine G champion, styling on that ism. We be in the city where the women high sizzle. Japanese denim got a body on tempo. I tell them pass me the endo, get them gaze out in the sick. Keep it low key and oh so simple. Hey, you with the dimples, let me pop it like a pimp. You got me stand trying to figure how you squeezed all in them. I like the way you move in that Japanese denim. What's in your plans, mommy? Tell me what's in your agenda. And if I ain't in them, baby girl, can we amend them? Got me stand trying to figure how you squeezed all in them. I like the way you move in that Japanese denim. What's in your plans, mommy? Tell me what's in your agenda. And if I ain't in them, baby girl, can we amend them?
Yo, I like that, man. That got that Wu-Tang feel to it.
Yeah, appreciate that. It's East Coast, man. It's real East Coast.
Yeah, Japanese Denim here on Deeper Than Music Radio with G Champion. So, how is because you like Common, you also blend the new and the old, very versatile as well. I guess I say the new with the gold school. How do you feel right now about the current state of hip hop right now? For me, the one thing that I miss is like with the femme MCs, man. We got Cardi B, we got Nicki Minaj. I'm trying to think. But I miss like back in the day, we had the MC Lights, we had the Lauryn Hills, we had the Missy Elliott's. Just a general take on your feedback. Just like, how do you feel about the current state of hip hop right now?
Man, when it comes, like you said, with the film series, man, it's not even the same. Like with the ladies you just named, man, like I remember jamming their music. Like I wasn't afraid around trying to, with the state of hip hop now, it's kind of scary to an extent. Like I say, there's no problems with having fun. Once you're past out, you kind of see where I'm going. But a lot of this music, I have a 10-year-old son, and I have a kid, and I just think to some of the stuff like, man, do I want my kid hearing some of this stuff? And like I said, don't get me wrong, music is music. Music is an expression, and I have music like that, but that's not gonna be my catalog.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
No, I'm glad you said that because I have a 12-year-old daughter. I do music as well. So I used to curse in my music, but then one day my daughter's great grandmother was like, "Do you curse in your music?" And I was like, "Why?" She's like, "Cause your daughter knows your stuff word for word." But that's just me. That's my personal journey. And now my daughter's 12, and like she was listening to some song, man. I can't remember what it was. And I didn't understand what the guy was saying. And I'm like, Olivia, do you understand what he's saying? And she's like, no. And I'm like, well, how do you know what he's saying? And I guess from our perspective, things change when you become a father. Things change, right? You like, even with my daughter, I see things from a different perspective. Like from a male perspective, having a daughter now, it's like I got to worry about, like Nas said, the song Daughters explains it perfectly. You have a son, he's a chip off his old papa, but the daughter, you know what I'm saying? She talking boy business. What is this? But I guess my take on it, what I was stressing was there's the variety. I don't see that variety. Like back in the day, you had an Outkast, which was okay. They had their lane with Goody Mob. Then you had your De La Souls. Okay, they're in this category. I guess I don't see a lot of variety unless I go outside of mainstream. Then I see that variety.
Right, and that's the thing. Like I say, for the longest, I wanted to stay, underground with the hip hop. But at the same time, if you want to capitalize, if this is something you plan on doing, don't get me wrong, I love music. And if I did make a dime off of it, I would be okay with it. But at the same time, if I'm going to dedicate that much time to it, if I'm going to travel, if I'm going to do these things, I have to see some type of residual. I have to see some type of monetary gain out of it. You kind of have to go to that commercial side. Not necessarily something I want to do, but again, it goes back to versatility. Is that my whole catalog? Absolutely not. But I do like the commercial field. I have to throw it out there. Kanye is a genius, and that's
yes, he is.
I mention him with my influence. He's nutty as squirrel shit, for lack of better word.
Yeah. Hey man, No, hey, Kanye is, man, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. He one thing I appreciated about him, man, he took mainstream and then he brought out like Common, he brought out Talib, and he's always kept it versatile. Like his catalog is versatile as hell. I don't know about the MAGA hat and all that, but you know, he's good to go.
That to me personally goes to his genius, because the one thing the guy does know how to do is he knows how to stay relevant. Even with his wife who he married, and a lot of things people say different things about. Oh, he's crazy. Why is he doing it? Like, again, you're talking about it. At the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. His name is still.
You're right. And then we talked about selling CDs from the trunk to now streaming. Like how do you feel now, like as an artist who's seen the grind pre Facebook, pre Spotify, how do you feel about social media, streaming networks, technology now in your grind? Do you feel that it helps us, or you feel like it kind of hurts us, or is it just a double-edged sword?
Again, it's a double-edged sword, because I think it does help in the fact that I can reach out to so many people with a click of a button. But at the same time, I think it makes us lazy, because it takes away from that footwork. It takes away from us not just performing at the venue, but being at the venue, putting your face out in public, just being there when there are events going on, even if you're not involved in the events, to be there. You know, I think that laziness comes in because, again, everything is at a click of a button now. But at the same time, it's a double-edged sword, man. I can reach out to all of these people at the same time. I get a lot of streams from, the Philippines and things of that nature. But it is what it is, man. It's a game. If you don't evolve, if you don't change the game, look at Snoops, look at your LLs. These guys have been in the game. Dr. Dre, these guys have been around 25 years, and you can't do that without evolving and kind of rolling with the time. So
yeah, and you brought up a good point, man. I've noticed with technology, it's people have gotten lazy. I remember I was watching, again, shout out to Drinks with Champs. Timbaland was breaking down production, like back in when he started producing, how he had to do it with the ASR8. There was a method to the madness. Now he's like, you just click, these click producers. And then also, I remember back in the day, you wanted to get a venue, man, you had to have a press kit. You know what I mean? Hey, I'm at the club. Here's my press kit. Here's my picture, my bio. I remember I did this festival in Maryland, and I had to, because they didn't really have any hip hop acts, I had to break it down. Like, this is what I do. This is my sound. This is my fan base. And what I found with the radio show and with people that approach me is the lack of communication skills. You can send me a link to your music, but who are you and why should I play you? You know what I mean? And in business, you have to communicate. Like, you have to, if you can't sell yourself and explain and sell yourself, you lost.
Yeah. And I've been in the sales from another side, from the Gary champion side. I've been in sales my whole life, and you always selling something to somebody. You're always selling yourself, or selling why you're the person for the job, selling why you should listen to my music. So I 100% agree with that as from the sales aspect of it.
Yeah, so you see it on both ends. So we got another track, Pass Out. Can you give us a rundown on this song?
All right, so this is what I'm talking about as far as the it's okay to have fun. I'm no way gonna go around and promote drugs or promote people going out and just doing wild things and crazy things. But at the same time, I'm not gonna be the guy who says, "Oh man, you should be just boring. You should live a boring life." Like I say, everybody should have fun to some extent. It's just a matter of how you carry that out. And Pass Out's one of those songs. It was a song I kind of was having a rough day. May have did a few things and kind of got inspired by it. so I put together a track called Pass Out. Like I said, it's fun. Don't get me wrong, super commercial, but I think the bars are and the flow. I think are undeniable, even though it is a little different aspect.
Like you said, man, we all gotta have fun. I mean, life is 3-dimensional, man. every now and then you want to listen to some conscious, and then sometimes you want to party. So, music is fluid. So we go, G Champion, Pass Out here on Deeper Than Music Radio.
This is Gary Devon Dotson, and you're listening to Deeper Than Music.
Yeah. I just popped the Zanny, bout to pass out. She like Molly, party back, they getting passed out. Now she face down with her ass out. I'ma beat that pussy up until I pass out. I'm like, hold up a minute, boss on me down, but I'm fully committed. Put a tongue on it if you with it. Molly got a friend fully committed. Bend it over, face down with her ass up. Geeked up, rolling hard, she thick as fuck, no need to gas up. Yeah, I beat that pussy up, leave it swollen, violated. They tripping hard, tabbies got their pupils hella dilated. I get that ass annihilated. I just popped the Zanny, bout to pass out. She like Molly, party back, they getting passed out. Now she face down with her ass out. I'ma beat that pussy up until I pass out. Beat it, beat it, beat it, beat it. Her friend chewing meat while I eat it. Boom go the dynamite to help me achieve it. The cocoa got her unleashing the demons. I see the colors on the spectrum. You fucking with a veteran. I keep the homie Smith and Wesson. Patch a girl on the ass with these hands, Edelman. She's so wetter than she's ever been. I'm making my name to settle in. I'm back refreshed, better than ever been. Make a tape beating Max Kellerman. I'm Randy. She looking like eye candy. She dandy. Toronto to the States like Canby. I just popped the Zanny, bout to pass out. She like Molly, parley packs, they getting passed out. Now she got her face down and her ass out. I'ma beat that pussy up until I pass out. I pass out until I pass out. I'ma beat that pussy up until I pass out. I pass out. I pass out. Beat that pussy up until I pass out. Yeah. Beat that pussy till beat that. Yeah. I beat that pussy till I pass out.
Deeper Than Music Radio, G Champion, Pass Out here on Deeper Than Music Radio. Do you watch Drinks with Champs?
I've seen it. I'm not gonna say I'm a religious follower of it, but yeah.
No, you just me personally, I think it's brilliant, man, because it's like, when you about to interview, sometimes you're a little reserved until you get further into the interview, and I think the one thing they do that's brilliant is people get drunk on there, and that song reminds me of, like, Irv Gotti got loose. Like, Irv was like, man, it's just like Irv got loose, man, and that song reminds me of a story that he had. I'm not saying that people should do drugs, but I guess he was saying that I guess a lot of hits from Murder Inc. was made off of ecstasy. Yeah. And they Ja Rule got him on ecstasy, and he's like, "Yo, when you get on X, man, you could be with somebody for a long time." And Irv was like, he was with a girl, and he was on X, and they was like all night. And he's like, "Yo, man, Ja wasn't lying." So, but
that's the song I would let my son hear, but that's the song that I think there is a what's the word I'm looking for? Not necessarily an avenue, but there's a fan base, there's a market for that song.
Yeah.
Like when I released it, I was kind of nervous. I'm like, shit, man, I don't know if I should release it.
No, there's actually a song out there floating around. I was and then for a while there, it was making me a good amount of money. It was called Me and You, and actually it's just about me just running missions, man, and living in San Diego and like just being with women, man. And it's always been a song that's like it's out there, but that was me back, about 15 years ago, and I believe like music, you evolve, you never stay the same. Like for Prince, Prince back in the day was wilding, and before he passed, he got religious. You know what I mean? And it's universal. We all go through different feelings. Like I think one of the most brilliant album titles was when J.Lo came out with an album and she said, this was me then, this is me then, which makes sense. That's how she was when she did that album. So we got 5 minutes left into the interview. Again, thank you for coming out and taking the time to be on the show. I wanted to ask you, what advice would you give to somebody that's listening to this interview and like, man, I want to be like G-Champ? Like, what is your advice for any new cat that wants to get into this game of music?
Man, so yeah, I got a lot of advice for people. For one, don't lose the hunger. Don't lose that fire. Whatever it is, find what it is that inspires you. Find what it is that takes you to that happy place. There's times where something's going on in my life, but I know where I can go to unwind, to turn to me, and that's where I write some of my best music. Also, take heed, take advice from some of these older cats. That was one thing that I didn't have the luxury of, and I try to tell all the young guys that we do have on our team right now. I didn't have anybody telling me to not do this or not spend my money on this. It was all trial and error for me. So again, take heed of these people who've come in front of you, these people who've had success, because everybody doesn't have that. Everybody doesn't have that corner, that mentor. So I would say always do that. Always remember that. But outside of that, just keep the hunger, keep the fire, and remember that it's a business at the end of the day. Yes, music is what we all love to do, but it's 90% business, 10% music, and that's the truth. And that's something you will learn over time. Push yourself. Nobody pushes you harder than you can push yourself. You know what I'm saying? So.
And it's amazing, man. Like, man, I was watching this interview on X, DMX, and I didn't realize that man made so much money for Def Jam, and to be where he is right now. I mean, he's coming back. He's about to do his 20-year tour, but the money that man made versus what he actually got. And like you said, it's a business. Music, business. My next question is, at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, what do you want your musical legacy to be?
I want to be the guy who, you're going to call me crazy, and this is who I am, but I've always wanted to be that guy who could tell this next person that this is the next person and put them on. I want that. I think I have a very good eye for talent. And I want to be the person that can help get that artist who deserves to be put to the next level. Like, that's how I want to be remembered, is putting on for people. I just want to put on artists and the talent. I mean, as a musician, I think I have my own whatever, and I'll have my fan base for it. I love it. But at the same time, I love to see other people succeed as well. So
you like to mold and groom talent. Now that's superb, because I mean, you're in a position right now like G.L.O.A.T Entertainment. I mean, you guys are doing it. You got talent on board. You got the ear to the streets. Like, I like the diversity in the music that you have. Like, you're able to adapt and keep the art and the artistry, which is, man, a phenomenal thing. Last question is just basically shameless promotion, man. What do we got going on with you? Any shows? Where can the listeners hear your music? I'm actually going to add your music to our rotation. We have a new music segment. I'll be adding it to the rotation. But right now, it's shameless promotion.
G Champion 27 on everything. IG, the real G Champion 27. Spotify, Apple, Tidal, anywhere you can stream music. G Champion, G.L.O.A.T Entertainment. Either way you look it up there. YouTube, G.L.O.A.T TV, G Champion TV. I mean, just type in G Champion. Go to your Google search, G Champion, G.L.O.A.T Entertainment. You'll find us. G.L.O.A.T Entertainment is not a normal name, so we'll pop up.
So what I'm gonna do, man? We gonna close out with Tint. Can you give us the story on Tint?
Tint. This is a little bit of my alter ego, Sauce Jenkins, which we'll get into him. Y'all will learn the more you follow me. Got Rippy, and then Flacco Z on it, produced by November 19th, another one of our 18-year-olds, and Flacco's 18-year-old. But anyway, so it's just that saucy side, you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you got to flex a little bit. So
okay, like so let's just left foot. All right, so here we go, closing out with G Champion Tint on Deeper Than Music Radio.